In the world of college football, let's start there before we get to the actual pros. It's a very interesting time because it's not like one sports league at a professional level that can kind of move more as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
You have different conferences like the MAC opting out or postponing fall sports. You have different teams like Connecticut and Colorado State just saying F it for this whole season. So it's and all these different leagues are kind of moving in similar directions where they're doing only conference play and stuff like that. But now you're seeing more players saying, you know what, I'm just going to train. I'm opting out for the 2021 draft. Now, one thing I want JB, I kind of want to get your reaction on this. And normally we don't cite news sources, stuff like that, because this ain't really that type of podcast.
Right, yeah.
The gentleman that I started following on our Twitter at JB and Benny Blue. I don't know him personally, but I'm going to shout him out. His name is Matt Hayes. He covers college football for the Bleacher Report. And reading a couple of his tweets, he said, Power 5 AD, as an athletic director, just texted. He said, you and your colleagues are chasing the wrong story. The virus alone is enough to stop the season, but presidents are terrified of players organizing. It's the paradigm shift to change amateur sports. You potentially lose one season with the virus. You lose the entire framework of your mission statement with players organizing. You need time to figure out how to attack it. And the reason why I bring this up is because there's an organization called College Athlete Unity that's really coming into play. And it's athletes from not just football, it's all different collegiate sports. And they are basically fighting for the right to be safe with the COVID and also their rights as not only individuals, but what they can speak out on as far as things like social injustice and things of that nature. And, they're calling out the Big Ten. They're really coming together. And JB, it makes me wonder, just like with some other things that we've seen and what we've talked about in some previous episodes, is this the time where it's like the players might finally have the NCAA and some of these conferences on their knees to really get what they want? I mean, when you hear all that, like, how do you process that?
I think it's great that they have an organization that's trying to protect, that's basically standing in as the union, right? Trying to become the union for collegiate athletes, right? It's going to be a daunting task, right? Because it's not a specific organization with a set number of people who you're trying to protect, like the NFLPA, right? They understand how many people they're trying to protect. They know exactly how many people are on these teams. They know the stipulations, they know contracts, they know this, that, and the third. They understand the writing, big writing, the small writing. They understand everything that goes on with the NFL, right? The same thing with the NBA and MLB. Those specific unions that are set to protect the players. Well, this is what they're trying to do with this little college thing. College Athletic Unity, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
College, so CAU, that's what they're trying to do with it, right? And I commend them for that because there has been no protection for college athletes of any kind, right? And this is before COVID or anything, right? The NCAA don't give a damn. You think the NFL don't give a damn? The NCAA, they don't give a damn. They don't give a fuck, all right? So I'm talking about the NCAA not giving a fuck at all, right? They don't care about none of that shit. They don't want these kids to get no money outside of scholarship money they're getting or the Pell Grant, or whatever the hell your respective state monies that you get for going and maybe staying in your state, you get a certain amount of money or so on and so forth as a college athlete. They don't want these guys and girls making no money outside of the money that they're given, right? And in that, they don't want them having any more rights than they're given through the NCAA and through the respective universities. So shout out to them for trying to do that. And I keep saying trying because I say it all the time if you listen to our podcast. The NFL is a motherfucker, but the NCAA is a big, hairy motherfucker, right? You know what I'm saying? This one is not to be fucked with at all. You know what I'm saying? Because they're huge, they're big, and they got a whole lot of power, right? And then the people who make up the scholastic part of it, you're small, you're minute, you're nothing, right? So those kids that are opting out, and you're saying that guys like, and especially it really pertains more towards football than anything, right? Just being completely honest, saying, like, we love all collegiate sports. We understand that all athletes matter. It's real, right? If you're a collegiate athlete, I understand. We feel your pain, But we're talking more about football now because football, right now we got guys opting out. And like Benny said earlier, they're saying, okay, well, I'm going to opt out, work out, and just stay ready, and then I'm going to enter myself into the 2021 draft. Okay. Well, I'm going to say this to you, right? And Deion Sanders said it. He didn't say it as eloquently as I'm going to put it, right? You better know what the fuck you're doing. Right? Deion said it nicely. I'm going to say it how I say things. Right. You better know what the fuck you're doing. You better be, you better look at your projection right now to see what you would have been if you came out right now, right? If you were going to get drafted right now, where would you be, right? Then take that and knock it back a whole fucking round.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Knock it back a whole round. So now you know if you're a projected first-round draft pick, you probably won't get picked until the second half, third round because you're going to opt out an entire season. And they're not going to see you play for an entire football season, right? That's just like somebody who was ranked super high and then they got hurt and then they had to sit out a little part of the season and they were ranked super high and there's going to be that doubt because they can't see you play football on film, right? But what they did see is the cat that didn't opt out who just had a phenomenal fucking season, even though it was fucking 8 games, 7 games, no matter, who had a great season, who put great film out there, who they're going to take before you, right? So you can take that. I'm going to opt out and I'm going to work out and get ready for the 2021 draft. And you can take whatever projection you were, and you can knock a whole round off that, because that's basically what you're going to get if you get that round when you knock it back. And that's just the God's honest truth. You got to be. Trevor Lawrence could probably do it, right? Yeah. Because right now he's the most highly ranked quarterback in the nation. He probably could do it. If Trevor Lawrence said, I'm going to sit the fuck down, work out, go see one of the quarterback whisperers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be ready for the 2021 season. Oh, yeah, it's going to be some teams that's going to take him for sure first round. Right? Maybe not first pick, but he's going to go in the first round.
Right.
So you better know what the fuck you're doing. That's real shit. That's as real it can get. You know, reviewers out there and young kids who are football players especially, because that's my thing. I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm being completely honest with you right now when I say that. You better know what the fuck you're doing. Because you might get drafted and you might not.
Right.
Right? So if you projected 4th round draft pick, you might want to bring your ass in there and be safe and play football this year. Right? Because you might be screwing yourself over real big.